I'll just outline some climate-specific problems when it comes to Cuba and its national response, which has been relatively sturdy on climate change. So weather unpredictability is something that's really striking at the heart of the Cuban nation today. Abnormal climatic behavior and crop and food insecurity has really driven Cuba to a point of environmental instability, especially when you start combining that with other environmental catastrophes afflicting the region because of climate instability. So Cuba is an agroecological state as opposed to the US's agrarian industrial model. So the Cuban economy and people, as a consequence, are heavily dependent on climatic trends and predictability for survival. When climate change starts introducing that level of unpredictability on the island, the levels of extreme poverty and government repression are exacerbated because the people have less way to even grow the food that they can grow. Another major aspect comes into play is tropical cyclone intensification. So tropical depressions, storms, hurricanes, and typhoons, the latter of which does not happen in this part of the world, as we know. Those are all major climatic disasters that affect the island. And, for example, Irma is one of the hurricanes I remember most profoundly as a South Floridian. When I was a senior in high school, I wasn't in school for a month and a half because Irma just devastated South Florida. And we had the financial infrastructure to respond to it. But places like Cuba and Haiti and other places in the Caribbean typically don't.
You talk about Cuba. I think for me, what's been fascinating to watch in the news is how we have reacted to the Haitian migrant crisis and our government's insistence on actually deporting these individuals or not allowing them to seek asylum and having them forced to return back to Haiti. When the devastation is still apparent, Haiti's still trying to rebuild. I think one of the interesting issues that keeps coming up is the compounding climate disasters, right? No longer are we having one climate disaster at a time. You're having multiple disasters hit certain regions at the same time.